Okay, you guys, the Bears are going to take on the Commanders tonight. And, well, the best thing about this one might be I don't know, the introduction of the game, maybe. Two teams with a pretty good history. I like that. Amazon, I know everybody's complaining about the Amazon Prime. One thing I do like, that intro, man, that's the best I've ever seen of all the years of football, right? It kind of takes you back a little bit. Anyways, the Commanders here, a touchdown favorite over the Bears. You got, coaches, a couple of what happened to Riverboat Ron? He's turned into retirement home Ron. He doesn't want to go for the win. And, well, for the Bears coach, I don't know, could he be fired if they lost this game by, 2 or 3 touchdowns tonight? Now, the Bears have never fired their coach in the middle of the season. I mean, at least not in my lifetime, I don't think. So why would that really happen now? Make fun of Justin Fields. He had like his career best game last week, statistically. So, but they're Bears. They're allowing 35 points a game. Is that Justin Fields' fault? And why don't the Bears ever have any good wide receivers? I mean, even their best are just marginally good at best. It seems like. Maybe we could talk about some of the Bears receivers of late. But they just don't seem to be able to. Pardon me. Ray's ready to go. He's got the Commanders already. Doubles says right out of Chicago, the Mike North, OG radio host. One of the first guys to kind of handicap games on the radio a little bit as well. Says that retirement home run wants to win so bad against the Bears in this one. Yeah, it'd be a pretty big game for retirement home run. Washington has given up. So we talk about the Bears giving up all their points, 35 a game. And the Commanders have given up also 35 a game, it seems like. Last 3 weeks, anyway. Look at it, 30, gave up 33, gave up 37, gave up 34. So this total 44.5 seems like 2 good teams are playing. Now you got to give some credit to Howell so far. He also has, had his moments. Look, Fields' record is terrible. We know that. He's 5-24 as a starter. And sometimes it can look really, really bad, right? Especially for a guy that loves to take a sack. He loves, being piled on by a bunch of defenders. He's he's Robo QB. Do you want Robo QB in there? Chicago's 5-12-1 against the spread in their last 18 games as road underdogs, but they're getting a full touchdown here against a pretty bad team. The Commanders are 2-2. If anything, they've overachieved so far this season, right? Considering the way those games, a couple of wild ones certainly. Talk about the Bears and their really poor spread record as road dogs, but the Commanders as a home favorite are 5-10 against the spread. Their last 15 as a home favorite, and of course they can't stop anybody in the second half. Thomas says he'll tease the Commanders down, so it sounds like he's just going to take him as a pick 'em here. And which way are you going to go on the total, though, Thomas? Which way do you want to go on this total? I know which way I'm going, but it's just a matter of what am I going to give? What am I going to give out on the side in total? Hello to Ron Crawford. Nice to see you, Ron. How did I guess I could check the KBO scores and see what's going on, or A Double's coming in with his play. He's a Chicago correspondent. And he says, take Washington. Nathan, hello as well. And Ron said, I'm not way to look Bears. I'm going to try to decipher that only look is bear. Okay, Ron might be going with the. I just, I'm, I'm at your guys' expense. If you use the autocorrect and it says something funny, I'm going to use it. Hey, Mr. Stretch is here today. Nice to meet you, Mr. Stretch. Thank you for coming and thank you for your pick. He says he's on the Bears. Darren says, I want to be on the Commanders -6 and the under, but not so sure about the under. I'll say this, Darren. You're probably, this is the best price, and I don't know if it's going to go up anymore. It was as high as 45, and right now, we're talking pretty much 44 and a half here, right? I'd say is the general number, but I would say that's up a little bit from a 42 and a half. And that's kind of the reported steam was, on the under in this game. But sometimes we think of really bad teams as being inept and not being able to produce offensively. And of course, I mean, I guess I'm kind of the leader of that group when I, because I'm such a heavy under guy, right? I mean, even if you had other handicappers out. I don't know how all this works. I'm just on here taking my advantage of being on the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse Tony's Picks YouTube channel. But there might be some other cap. But I mean, you might say, hey, you know what? If I'm thinking about the total, let me see what Ramon's doing. And I'm going to be first and foremost always thinking under, but I'm not here probably. Look at how these guys are giving it up. Now these guys aren't. It's not the Miami Dolphins out there. I get that. But I think we've seen enough with Howell and the talent, the offensive talent on Washington, right? All their offensive play, they all have that, I don't know, that same build, if you will, the Robinson type, right? They all look very sleek and fast. And the Bears aren't, look at them. Look at the Bears defensively, truly. I mean, this is not, there's no Urlockers out there. There's nothing, nothing's going on. So I think that also probably increases the volatility of, Commanders. Come on, Commanders covering a big number like a touchdown against anybody. Okay, I get it. The Bears, are they the worst? Maybe they are. Right? They're whatever. I mean, there's 2, 3, 4 really bad teams, and the Bears are one of them. The Commanders, they definitely have earned the right to be, because I think we could say going into the season, could the Commanders be one of the bottom teams? No, maybe not one of the bottom teams, but we didn't know that Howell. I mean, you don't necessarily go out and get, have Howell and say, hey, this is the guy we're going to build our franchise. He's just kind of ended up in the position, and hey, he's been considering expectations to his career. Howell's done a great job. Like I said last week, for these quarterbacks. Oh, great. Here comes some more plays. Thank you, guys. Appreciate this. Let me see. Let me catch up on some of these while I'm ranting about bad football teams. Nathan, he's on the Commanders here. But let me see here. Oh, man. Having trouble keeping up. Good. We're back to having some conversation here in the chat. Okay, here I'm all caught up now. Sorry about that, you guys. Bobby Smith, he comes in. He says he's locked in on the Bears here. He might take it up to 7. So I think we can generally agree. I think 6 is what we're looking at as the true line at this time. Ray says it might sneak over the 44. Double says until we get a new coach. So right, and what how did we end up with we're the Chicago Bears, right? I mean, I get it. We're a little bit. This is why we're in the position that we're in. So, even back when we were going to build a new stadium or, the renovate, like Why are we spending this money on the renovation? Our Chicago course doubles can help us out, or the Chicago crew. But you know, should we build a new stadium in Arlington? Yes. Are we stuck with revamped Soldier Field? Yes. And it all kind of look. The Hallis family has been just long term. This is it's a great NFL story. It is the story of the NFL, the Chicago Bears, to a certain extent, but you don't want it to get like this. Mark Lee says Commanders here, and Nathan has it a 10-point victory, 31-21. It does feel a little bit. I know that's a real rounded score, and I always try to go rounded scores, right? Because in a way, like sometimes when you make a prediction, right, you don't want to be a guy picking 29-25, and they're like, someone might actually analyze and go, "You're picking the score. Do you even know anything about football?" Of course, it could land 29 or 25. I mean, nothing's out of the question anymore with all these crazy combinations of numbers, but this one feels like it's going to have some goofy number on the end, right? A 5 or a 9. Those are the two. Those are the two numbers actually that you don't see on the end of football scores as often as the other 8 digits. Did you know that? I think maybe you guys did. 5 and 9 are the least landed on numbers. 9 the most. I think it's 9 the most. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Ramsey World. Nice to have you here today. we're picking our spots, Ramsey. Good night, Munchie here today. Let's see. Good night, Munchie's got a novel I can read, which is good on a day like today. I like Chicago versus Washington under. Washington plays worse at home, and Chicago plays bad on the road. And been almost a year since Fields won a game. Yeah, like I said, 5-24 as a starter. Howell, he's 3-2 as a starter. I don't know if that is a good enough sample size for anyone, but like I said, given what we're expected from a guy like Howell, I think we're getting a pretty good guy here. So, all right, I guess I better get rolling here on my pick. Washington has gone under in 12 of their last 17 games. Hello to Winning Wager. Nice to see you. How you been? The Bears 14, 24, and 3 against the spread, coming off a loss in their last 40 games. That seems like a big, talking about that really is not just a few seasons, really. Both teams have been disaster in the second half. Now, I don't know how you guys want to equate it because you're playing similar teams here, whereas before Commanders, we know they've actually had a couple of tough, the Bears obviously playing everybody that they play is tougher than them, but Chicago's been outscored 73-48 in the second half. Washington has been outscored 45-17 in the second half in their last 2 games. I'll quantify that a little bit. Commanders have won 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams, and they've gone over in 4 of the last 5 games. Of course, everybody remembers one of the most famous games of all time when the Bears beat Washington to win the NFL championship, but that was 87 years ago. But it was 72-0 or 73-0. I don't even remember. 72, 73-0. Thank you, Doubles. Yeah, yep. I knew it was something like that. Okay, well, for me, I just think the spread's a little bit too high. I think Justin Fields always kind of keeps you around in the game, and the Washington is not solid enough to cover a touchdown against a fellow NFL team, even if they're 0-4. I'm on the Bears tonight. They'll probably have to backdoor it somehow, but This isn't going to be anything too special. You're not going to see championship defense out there, if you know what I mean. So my pick is in. Hopefully you guys got your picks in. Hopefully I got them all on the screen with you. Last call. Last calls. We take kind of slow here today. Run through the show. All right. Thanks, you guys. You guys got your picks in. My picks in. I'm taking the Bears here, +6. Go Bears! Should have worn my Bears jersey. I don't have a Commanders jersey. I have another Washington football team jersey that's not the Washington football team. It was the one before that. I can't say the name of it, but had to do with. All right. Thanks, you guys. Let's go to college football now and talk about a couple of games tonight to keep our interest. Because, hey, who knows what will happen to that Bears-Commanders game we need. And plus, the college football starts a little bit earlier today, 7 Eastern. Thomas has teased the Bears up. Who didn't give me who didn't complete their teaser and said they're going to tease the Commanders down to a pick, and they did? Was that you? Who didn't give me their total on that? All right. Oh, Double says the Bears are going to get blown out tonight in this one. Just donate the money to me. All right, Doubles. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't have to send the money. I don't want to pay any sports books, so maybe we'll just bet. My pick is in. I'll be betting on it, but again, I might find some other ways. I might need that 7. I might need 7.5. I might be buying it a little bit, but gonna just take the Bear. I just expect higher volatility. I'm gonna want to be on an underdog here, especially an 0-4 dog in the NFL. I agree. The Bear. Look, I think I've been on the Bears' terrible bandwagon the whole time. No doubt about it. As one of the worst teams. Again, it's about the fact that, like I said, look, Fields is obviously not going to be an answer in the NFL, I don't think, at all. There are limitations. But remember, we've seen some interesting moments from him. But why can't the Bears have elite wide receivers ever? Why don't they ever want to pay wide receivers anymore or ever? And things like that. I know we're talking about the defense, too, and the problems there.